Rob Simons with Coach.Win, and today I'm here with my co-founder, John Lund. We're going to talk about a new venture that John recently started. You want to tell us a little bit about Autogrator and what need did you see in the marketplace and why you started it?
Excited to talk about Autogrator. So it's something we launched officially about 6 months ago. The need I was seeing as a strategy coach, meeting with lots of businesses, departments, and obviously with all the AI hype out there seemed to be a need for a place where small, medium businesses could go and learn about AI, take advantage of AI, share in resources in AI. So I decided to put together a group of founding members to join this group called Autogrator, where we could learn and share together at a kind of a reduced cost, but also bring it out to other clients as it grows. So it's been going for about 6 months. It's been a really fun project, mainly all around the Microsoft OpenAI, but we also do some other things with like Claude and Gemini and N8N and stuff like that. But been a fun group to put together.
And tell me about some of the early wins. What's been some of the early projects that get you excited?
A couple of them. There's definitely several around marketing that we've done where somebody was looking to hire a new marketing person because they do listings and marketing portfolios they put together. They have a lot of them. We figured out a way to speed up that process by 75% in a simple win. We did one with ongoing competitive analysis where they need to know what's going on with their competitors because they have to adjust and relax and adjust their go-to-market strategy all the time based on competitors. Automated that every day. We have several around like Excel to Word, and then a couple around coaching, like internal coaching with people, which have been fun. Like one of the ones, been my favorite ones, is just a very simple one-on-one coach. After every one-on-one, you run this little GPT, and the GPT helps you become a better mentor and coach and person in your one-on-ones. So those are some fun ones.
I mean, who doesn't want to be a better coach? As you know, that's one of my hot buttons is making sure that people understand their role as a leader is to make their direct reports the best version of themselves. And yeah, I've seen a lot with GPT, especially we do a lot of 360s. And it's great to be able to take all that data from a 360 assessment and be able to use that to figure out how to coach those team members to be the best version they can be. So that's awesome. So I have a dumb question, like where did the name come from?
Depends on where you came from, but really Autogrator was designed to be in business. The idea of an integrator has been pretty popular now, right? In the sense of that, in my day, it was called a thread. It was that person that could see across the whole business. Sometimes it's a COO is a common role in that space. It's this person that got the whole business. So they could be in the sales meeting, the marketing meeting, the operations meeting, the finance meeting. They start connecting the dots. They'd be the thread. Well, what I realized, and that integrator became the new term from that versus COO or something like that. What I realized is you need somebody that can see across the whole business and understand automation and AI. So kind of putting together the words of a Autogrator. They understand the processes, they understand the ROI, they understand the outcomes across the whole business, and they understand automation and AI and what's possible. Those two things had to come together to create an Autogrator.
I love that. The common thread in your business, because and I know, and we do these pre-planning surveys every quarter for all of our clients. And I've done this for 10 years now, literally hundreds of companies, hundreds of surveys, and communication is always one of the biggest issues. So what are some of the things that you guys are doing to help with just that common thread or communication throughout an organization?
So one of the things we realized is, again, Microsoft Teams, we're Microsoft focused, but what we realized early on and where it was challenging to use AI and AI's advantages is everything was scattered across email, chat, phone calls, text, files in different places, and all that kind of stuff. So now what we've realized, we have to create these things called knowledge hubs. So the best way to think about that is you want an all-knowing area of your Microsoft Teams, SharePoint, file folders. So the ones that are super popular and to keep communication alive, it's incredible. If you set up a knowledge hub around the executive team meeting, the weekly meeting you're having with your executives, So we're doing chats in there. We have issues in parking lots and to-dos. We're recording the meeting, grabbing tasks and putting in minutes. If you want the meeting deleted, the actual transcript deleted afterwards, you can. Now we have a knowledge hub around that executive team meeting. We know the goals and OKRs, what we're trying to focus on for 3 years, 1 year, and a quarter. We can start asking really smart questions and prompts around what was going on in that meeting, and also put a coach around to make that leader better. But taking it to the next level, the thread concept is if you do a knowledge hub around the sales and marketing meeting that's weekly, the operations team that's weekly, the finance and IT admin that's weekly, put them all in their own knowledge hubs. Now you can actually create a thread knowledge. Is there anything that's going wrong across these teams versus our goals, what we're trying to work on? So that has given summaries to people that just give way crisper communication and keep people alerted what's going on.
Wow.
Just to be clear, take that to a different level too. We have some clients that have, like, one client is 30 to 40% of their business. Create a knowledge hub around that. So daily, the leader, there's 10 teammates that run that company. That leader gets anything that could be a bubble dip issue, because his challenge was, or his most biggest pain was when his client would call and blindside something. Like, I did not know that was going on in my own company, and my head of my client just called me and said, "You're way overdue on this project."
Yeah, I can see where that would be. It's almost an insurance policy to make sure that you know what's going on. I guess risk mitigation. What would you say to someone who's like, well, that sounds almost Big Brotherish to record all these meetings and centralize all those decisions and notes in one place? It sounds, I can see where some people might be concerned about it, but how would you respond to that?
Yeah, we obviously have different levels, and you want to have some best policies about, recording and keeping the actual video and transcript. When people say, look, I don't want to record anything because of legal or something like that, I'm always like, well, you do take notes in meetings, don't you? And whether it's on your notepad is also eligible to be subpoenaed if you really get down to that path. So we can work through the legal side of this very easily.
Yeah, and I think it's a strategy decision as much as, there's risk in everything that we do in business. It's just a matter of what do we find acceptable, right?
And if you think back, what winning looks like, and you think back about the best coaches, the best teams, which team in the NFL chooses not to use game film?
That's a good analogy.
Which team, doesn't want to have individual, hey, you're dropping your elbow when you're throwing that pass, or for us who are both golfers, when you videotape yourself, do you get better by watching hey, wow, I didn't realize I was doing that, right? So when people think about this big brother, why wouldn't you want to do it? The nice thing is, whether it's the one-on-one coaching or the leader of that particular knowledge hub or that meeting, it's safe coaching. It's not role-playing. Hey, if I give you one or two options, this safe coach is going to help come and talk to you, and it's going to be a person who's nice to you and points out, though, how you could do better at leading, managing, holding people accountable. Or your boss is going to come role play with you after watching you in a meeting. The first option is way better.
Yeah, that's pretty powerful.
The other thing, Rob, just on, we're good at humans at looking, and you know this, and you can probably share your experience with your quarterlies because you've done a great job with it. But you have a client that's got 60 responses to a quarterly meeting, a quarterly survey, 7 sections each. You can read through that one as a coach pretty quickly and understand trends. But if I said, well, tell me the trend difference over the last 4 quarters.
Yeah, I was going to say what I'm finding AI is most useful for is when there's just a tremendous amount of information and you've got to be able to look at it, slice and dice, and really understand it from different perspectives. The other example that I've used is we do the SWOT assessments. We're coming up on annual planning, and the SWOT assessment is a tool that we find to be really powerful. Well, if you have 10 or 15 people fill out their 5 strengths, their 5 weaknesses, their 5 opportunities, their 5 threats, I've now got 75 responses for each category. And we've got to figure out a way quickly to be able to digest that into something actionable. And the AI tools are just amazing at being able to recognize those patterns and be able to reduce it down. And again, for those listening, we know it's not perfect, it's not 100%, but man, it can get me 80, 90% of the way there in a fraction of the time that it used to take me. And so that's really helped. And I know this, I'll segue this into a question that I know you're passionate about, which is there are a lot of people out there that are nervous about AI and how it's going to impact their job, or is it going to take my job? And, there's a lot of hype in the news, but I mean, what are you actually seeing when you bring AI tools and automation tools to organizations? What are you seeing?
Yeah, so it's been really fascinating, and I feel for people. When I sit in departments and do department meetings to do deep dives on what's possible to automate and easy. And just to be clear, we're not on the $50,000, $200,000 huge projects, and there's people that are great at that. Ours are like, how do we make it so this task, instead of taking 5 hours, takes 3 hours? This task, whatever. We're trying to find those small wins that add up to a lot very quickly with our stuff. So as I sit with these groups, I had a group of 10. They're all in a marketing department. 2 of them were super excited. 3 of them, I'd say, were neutral on AI, and 5 were scared that they were going to lose their jobs. And the studies, there's a bunch out there that I've researched on, it's 73 to 75%, somewhere in their range, depending on the study, of office-related people that spend time on computers, are very nervous about their jobs. And one of the things that makes them less nervous is whether or not their company is investing in them and having them help learn AI.
Right.
Giving them the tools. And so it actually became an outtake of our founding members and others that we actually decided to hire a teacher to be a digital adoption manager to help in a very safe way groups of people learn AI so they're feeling invested in and they can be part of the wave versus getting run over by the wave. So
yeah, I mean, it's cliche, but it still works. If you want to grow your company, you have to grow your people. And too many times, we've seen it done many different ways, but at the end of the day, I think the majority of people want to learn and grow, and giving them that opportunity will probably reduce a lot of that anxiety they're probably having.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been really important for us to have people learn and understand, they can pick up 1 or 2 things a month even for 3 months in a row that make their job a little more joy, some time savings, they can focus on more, they feel more valuable, more invested in, and then they'll become better employees for you as well.
Well, tell me more about this digital adoption manager, because I love the concept. Like, what does that look like in reality, and what are some of the topics that you guys are tackling?
So a couple of the things. One is just how to Copilot, Microsoft Copilot, how to use it, how to become great at prompting, how to use it in Word and Outlook, because those are the most common tools that people use. We have a different program for Excel, because Excel's on a whole other level now with its prompting and Analyst and Python, where people can actually write the big formulas by using their voice and not knowing how to write an Excel formula. So
wow,
that's a different one. Also just meeting effectiveness and meeting management. And that's actually 2 different areas. One is how to use AI in meetings. 2 is actually how to speak in meetings. And what I mean by that is AI is very good if you speak in a right way. Like, so how do we make sure, are we having our eyes and ears open for, is this something we should learn and transfer to the team? Is this something that might be good for marketing? Is this a potential case study? Or every time somebody says a to-do, if you say the date that it's due by, it'll automatically track it and put it right into a planner or a to-do task. So you can actually get smarter on how to use AI in meetings and make super effective meetings. And super effective meetings open up a whole nother advantage of AI around this whole concept of knowledge hubs.
That's awesome. And so how is this digital adoption manager working with your teams? What does the format look like?
So the format is simple. We get a cohort or a group of 8, up to 8 employees at a company. We recommend the employees you just think about right on that are like, hey, I want them around forever. They're a great employee. I want to keep them. I need them to start and be in a safe place. It's 6 sessions every other week, 12 weeks total, in some all virtual meetings. We're going to go over some best practices. We're going to share some videos that they can watch after the fact to learn. We're going to give them some homework to work on. And then actually in between, they have access to a Microsoft form that they can go in and say, hey, I'm trying to figure out this. And then if we don't know the quick answer, we'll have our team figure out how to use that for that. So now we'll come back at the next meeting with, hey, here's how we can fix that issue and teach you about that one. Another set of trainings, best practices, learnings. So over these 12 weeks, they get incrementally better at using the tool, whether it's the Copilot in general within the Word and Outlook, or the Excel, or the meeting excellence. So recommend pick 8 people, put them in a cohort, 45-minute meeting every 2 weeks for six meetings of 12 weeks.
That's awesome. Yeah, I mean, I feel like you and I spend a lot of time in Microsoft, and I feel like you and I are pretty technologically savvy, yet I'm still amazed at how much I learn every week about some of the tools and techniques inside of Microsoft. I mean, is that just me, or is that pretty common with your clients as well?
It's super common to clients. It's actually why a lot of them like to be a part of the Autogrator. My clients are part of Autogrator, or be aware of what's going on, because they don't have the time versus we do.
Yeah.
To find the ones that actually work in business too, because there's just, again, a lot of hype, right? Like, it's amazing, but it doesn't work, versus, hey, the new project manager agent, that thing just works for some basic things. It's great to work, and then we can share it out there with our clients. So it is overwhelming. We try to dial that down and say, hey, here's the 2 things that'll work for you this week, right?
So if somebody wants to get in touch with you or Autogrator to find out more about these, the digital adoption manager, or some of these processes that you're doing to help companies automate, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, my LinkedIn, you can look up John Lund and Autogrator, John Lund and Coach.Win. You'll find me on LinkedIn. Is a great way to reach out if you're a leader in the industry. Or go to autogrator.com, and there's ways you can just apply and say, I want to learn more information, and we'll pop up on a meeting with you and get you going on some, whether it's digital adoption, or get some projects potentially working for you, or show you the ones we've done in the past with some case studies. There's some great case studies on autogrator.com as well.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you taking the time today to share. I'm really excited about this, and as you know, I've been taking this to all my clients, and so hopefully some people will listen to this and reach out.